So this is our time change morning in the US. We hate it. Sergio, what time is it where you are? Looks like Sergio froze. Oh, he did. You're back, Sergio.
Yeah, I realized I was in two meetings, so this the Zoom is up.
So I'm thinking we might have a small team today because of the time change.
Yeah, I'm not in another meeting right now, but I just try to open this at least to you. Yeah, the change in the time affect.
It always messes with people. I don't blame people for not doing an 8 o'clock call if they don't have to on it because it's 7 o'clock in our heads. I am going to go ahead and get us started though. Let me see here. We go.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Siddharth.
Morning, sir.
Absolutely great. When this calendar time changed, I didn't notice. I noticed it a few hours back only.
I don't know when Canada does. Maybe in a week?
Okay, okay. So if Canada does, then let's go for it. So
Yes, I think we're like a week off. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me pull up the doc. Gotta find it. Appears my computer's not awake yet either. It's just really it's running slow. Why can't I? There we go. There it is. Outreach. There it is. All right. Here it is in the chat. I'll go ahead and get it started there. All right, so if you can go ahead and sign in there, I'd appreciate it. And what do we need to cover today? So we are in the last 2 weeks of our blogathon. We still need blogs, folks. We are sorely missing blogs for a blogathon. So any blogs that you want to submit, let's get them in. And Aditi, if there's a blog that you would like to work on and you're not sure what topic it should be, reach out to me and we can chat. I think as a newcomer, you could do a blog on your experience becoming a newcomer, even just, talking about the team or, whatever feels right. Make it easy for
Yeah,
yourself.
actually, I wanted to write a blog and I was thinking about it, what exactly to write, like what is my experience joining in or something else, any technical topic, if you suggest.
Anything you would like to do. What it was like to, for me recruiting you to get involved in the discussions, what you're looking forward to in the project, or if there's a technical discussion around anything around configuration management or GitOps topics or infrastructure as code, the CD pipeline, any of those topics work. Natch,
All right, sure.
same for you, Natch. Anything that you would like to work on in that area would be great.
Well, I submitted one last week, I think, and I moved my card in Trello, but
Okay.
It's there. So.
Okay, super. Thank you. I'm so glad. I have not taken a look at that, so I'm glad to hear that.
Right.
We have our let me share my screen. We do have our badges done. There's our badges. Let me make them a little bigger. So those are our badges. So they're all ready to go. For this program, we'll all be working on ambassador badges because that's the badge for blogging and outreach. So all that needs to be done is Siddharth and Neetu and Garima will be working together to come up with what the different steps are in order to get the different bronze, silver, and gold badges. So they turned out nice, Sergio. They look great.
Yeah,
I just added the 3 different categories that we have, and we're good to go. On May 20th, we are going to do a, let me start taking my own notes here. On May 20th, we are going to do our first badge awards ceremony. As some of you may remember, I indicated that May 20th is an interesting day because it's the date that Abraham Ortelius published his map of the theater of the world. So we're going to try to use that day to do some fun stuff. And I had pitched to Garima that would be our day that we would award some badges. We already have some folks that deserve these level of badges already. So we'll give out a good handful on the 20th, and that gives it plenty time to get through getting us started with coding in April so that people who want to do badges around actually, coding, that'll give us some time. So May 20th will be our first day to give out official badges, but anybody who's participated in the blogathon will get their initial ambassador badge. So let me just write Tracy discuss. Steve's on another call. He's working with a customer, so I'm going to have to play both roles here. And
Aditi, just a second. Aditi, if you're placed in India and you need any help for the blogathon, you may reach out to me.
Okay.
The time zone difference should not bother you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I would like to.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be great, Siddharth, if you work with Aditi to do that. And it can be a technical discussion too. It doesn't have to be just whatever feels right for you.
Yeah. And Ashish also is based in India. Anyone based in India, if you find any challenges, please reach out to me. I would be more than glad to help you out with the Ortelius community, blogathon, anything else that bothers you.
Sure.
How should I reach out?
Okay. Let me drop you my calendar and email ID. Then you can reach out.
Yeah, sure.
And Siddharth is now going to be kind of our official chairperson of the ambassadors. He stepped up last week and reviewing the ambassador levels. So for at least for the next, I would say, year, and we might want to make May 20th if we ever do voting for different positions, the day that we get together and do nominations as well. But for now, Siddharth is going to be really kind of spearheading the ambassador program. So Siddharth, I think what I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to start handing this meeting off to you to start leading and keeping track of what you want to work on instead of Steve and I doing it. I think it's going to be better if someone who's thinking about the program specifically to start running the outreach call. And if there's a time that you can't make it, just let me know and I'll be sure and take over. Does that work for you?
Okay, absolutely.
Okay, great. All right, she indicated that we needed more blogs and that the Natch has a blog. Why don't we take a look at the Trello board? Siddharth, can you share your screen?
Yeah, let me know. Okay. Second. Okay, so here is our Trello board. Anyone who is not registered or not participant to it, please let me know. I'll invite you to this piece, or what you can do is just a reminder, uh, just copy this link, let me share that. Okay. If go to this link and be part of this Trello board if you aren't at the moment.
So I
Okay,
think
so
there should be a few cards that are open for suggested blogs. Are they still out there or where are we at with those?
yes, there is one card for suggested blogathon entry, which is Google Cloud Build. That's it. Don't think he would be able to take it up, so this is one card.
So let me talk about that one for a minute. That one
Okay.
is a matter, to get that one done, it's a matter of getting on Steve Taylor's calendar and recording him showing how Google Cloud Build is set up, and then write a brief summary on it. That's probably one of the easiest ones. If it doesn't get done, I'll be sure and submit it, but that's an easy one to do if you want to just have Steve show you how he has set up Google Cloud Build and record it and then summarize it. So just a thought for anybody out there looking for a topic and wants to do something that's technical, but they don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, which I get.
Okay, this is another one. What about this one? We need editors, judges.
Yes, so Siddharth, I'm going to let you look at the blogs. You and I can
Okay.
work on these blogs for right now since there's not that many. But if anybody wants to review them, just jump in on the card and let us know.
The website redesigning has also been done. We will move it to the complete stage.
Yes, that has been done. That is a
Right.
huge accomplishment. We have a lot to thank Owen for. He's done a lot of work on it.
Yeah,
Another
that
one.
one is in doing for the Ortelius Evil Lord badge. I think we can say this is complete because we already
Yes,
have the badge for it.
the badges are complete. We can say that's been completed too, yes.
Okay, let's Okay, how about this one? This was created by Sasha. How
This-
Ortelius fits into domain-driven design.
You know, he may be working on a blog for that. This is an interesting one because domain-driven design is a part of service-oriented architecture that we have talked about for quite some time in terms, even during object-oriented programming. But DDD is becoming more prevalent now with microservices because it is harder to manage microservices without some kind of structure. And that's why we built out the domain structure within Ortelius. So we should probably, Siddharth, you want to reach out to Sasha and see if he's going to write that, or if there's and there are some blogs already on this. If somebody wants to take it on, they can read through the existing blogs, and there's documentation that can be used as well. in just the standard Ortelius documentation about how the domains work. But I think what this really will speak to first is what domain-driven design is, why it's important in service-oriented architecture, and how Ortelius fits into it. And the other person the person who really would be great to write this, and I will reach out to him as well, is Phil Gibbs, who designed it in the first place. It'd be really great to hear an article from him. So let me reach out to him as well and see if he wants to do one. Why don't you add that as an activity for me? So that I'll reach out to Phil Gibbs and see if he wants to write a blog for it. I'd love for him to start. Yeah, you can go. You can. Yeah. He's usually here. He's probably forgotten that we have a time change and his didn't. So
maybe.
Yeah. It happens when the U.S. changes their time and out of sync with everybody else.
Okay. The other thing is we have been using this Twitter and Ortelius to promote if you have any if you are on Twitter, and what we've done is we have created a list of our Ortelius contributors. So what we're doing is if you have not yet been listed, not shared your Twitter account, please do that as earliest as possible. We'll follow you, we'll highlight what you're doing, we'll promote what you're doing in Nautilus. So just a reminder, if you've not done it.
Yeah, so if you want to tweet for Ortelius as well, we can also add you to this. So if you want to be able to do any tweeting, we're happy to add you to the team.
So at the moment, I have only Steve, Karam, Sergio's, mine, and Tracy's Twitter account. If you think you should be on the list, please do ping me separately or on this chat message. I'll add you. What we've done is we've created this list of our Ortelius contributors so that we follow them, we promote them, we like, share what they're doing with the wider community.
Yeah, so get your Twitter account in there.
Absolutely. I think with this, that's it from my side in terms of the Trello one. The other thing is for something exclusive for this Ortelius community, if you think you have worked something on the DevOps space, if you think you have any patterns which could be replicated elsewhere, if you think you want to share your stories with a wider group, we have speaking opportunities within NatWest group, the organization to I belong to. You can come up, share your ideas, journeys, or in fact, any problem that you've solved within the DevOps space, and you want people to hear your stories, reach out to me. And within NatWest, we are bankrupt brands. So in just to share across, our annual profit last year was £4 billion. So that is,
wow.
we are talking about the scalicity of our organization. So happy to promote you in the NatWest group also. Okay. Over to you, Tracy.
Okay. I don't think we have really anything else to cover on this group, except we do need to remember that the blogathon ends in 2 weeks. So by the next time we do this call, we'll be talking about the what we've got submitted and if we need to curate any more for the blogathon. Well, we also need to start thinking about what we will want to do after the blogathon, what the outreach group thinks that we should be focused on after the blogathon. I think that what we really should focus on is making sure that the recognition program is working and is in gear and everybody's getting their badges and are able to update LinkedIn with the badge images. And if there's anything else that we should be thinking about for April, we, bring that to the next meeting if you have any thoughts. We can always do some, I would call them more interesting ways of getting our information out and who we are. So for example, I'm leading the track for the DevOps Online Summit, and they do it basically in an interview format. And it might be fun for us to just do a set of interviews of the community, and we can just post that out on on our new website. And what I'm thinking is that for every person who is on the community who's gotten a badge, we will do a 10-minute interview of them and post a picture and add them to the website. So, if you've achieved any of the levels, that you're getting some recognition through the website. So I think I'd like to hear feedback in the next 2 weeks, how we want to promote those individuals who have made an effort and done some work.
I love the idea.
Great.
Yeah, like a little interview, a few questions, and people know how to be afraid because you usually use offline, so you can edit and do so. It's better if you just say, "Yeah, relax," because we can just edit anything what we need. So
yeah, we don't have to do it.
It's more fun. Yeah.
I don't have to do it technical. It's just like, tell us who you are, what your background is, how you got into a DevOps space, a DevOps kind of journey question, and leave it at that. We can just do podcasts too. We don't even have a video.
Yeah,
This can be a podcast.
Sounds like perfect for a podcast. Yes.
So great. Glad that, Sergio, thank you for that feedback. And if anybody else has any other ideas, the other thing on the website is that I need a way to format that and have everybody's picture. On some of them, what I've seen is what they do, which I think is really hilarious, is they, instead of having your professional picture, they have a picture of you when you're like 7. And if we think that's what we should do, this group should make that decision on what that community page looks like. So I guess what I'm saying is, now that we have a new website, what we should start thinking about is how to showcase the people in our ambassador, champions, and legend categories, so that it's not just a badge, but they're on the website as well.
Yes, I see the new website needs more graphics because there is a lot of topics, and usually too much text is, I don't know, more fun and more easy to read when you have a good graphic supporting what you're trying to present, to publish.
I agree, and I'm terrible at doing graphics, so that's why I just download icons and tweak them. Let's take a look at the website just for a second so we can see what he's talking about. Let me just share this screen. Oh, I don't want to do that. Stop sharing. Let's just share my whole screen. There. Okay. So it's pretty, it's clean looking, there's no doubt. And down here we have, like I say, I just pulled these icons and put them in. Any of these can be cleaned up. We can do anything that everybody feels good about. So if you have some ideas on how to improve and create better, graphics for the site, please let us know, because if you go to here, there's nothing. It's all just text. The only page that has any kind of graphics is the first page. So it is definitely an area that we could drive more interest and make it look, a little more interesting than what we have it. I would love even to see if our front page was like the alien flying across or something fun.
I was thinking the same, like Ortelius or a spaceship crossing, I don't know, in the background. Yeah, something like that.
Because we're trying to create a persona, right? We're creating Ortelius. We're trying to give him a personality. It's why he's in our badges. And I always have loved the way the Jenkins community embraced the butler, and he has so many different personalities, the butler, and it's each unique meetup group or country has their own version of him. So I think that if we do something like that to make it a little more fun, even if Ortelius was, flying over and looking down at what looks like a group of clusters, right? So we could bring out the idea of we're creating visibility across clusters. Any of that, I am totally open to, and I'm sure everybody would love to have it.
Yeah, and it's funny how many people you can reach out with that, even sometimes more important than, I don't know, I'm not saying that blogs are not important, but sometimes, I don't know, people get catch with that more
Yeah.
than reading.
Absolutely. If we look at some of the other ones, let's see what Helm looks like. Helm. It's not .com. That is definitely not Helm. Helm. Kubernetes. Oh, .sh.
That's weird.
See, yeah, that is. So see how they have a little boat floating here? It gives the page a little more interest, and we can, whatever graphics we want to put on here, we can. The Hugo server allows for any kind of formatting that we want. So I think Helm has always been kind of cute. They've done it, this switches over to this icon over here when it's done, but it's still moving. It still has some interest. So yeah, think about what we might want to do to make it feel more friendly. Now that it's clean, it'll be easy to do. I didn't even want to begin on the other page.
I like the weird background they put in there, like
this here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside of a cell or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like pathways and kind of like water.
Yeah, and it still is clean. So yeah.
And it's very clean, yeah. So that's why I brought Helm up. I like it. Now, Jenkins has always been heavy on text, but they still have these kind of these graphics. This graphic here, this orange background, is from the CD Foundation. I've never been a huge fan of it, but it kind of works for this page. And they have this really cute cartoon little thing that somebody did for them that shows how Jenkins works. And then they have the blogs right out in front. So anyway, we can make it more friendly. That's ready to be done. And that might be something we want to work on, through the course of April, thinking about how we can make it a little more friendly. Who else did I see that had a Kubernetes? Is not. Kubernetes is really, it's pretty technical. Production grade container orchestration. It does have these nice graphics though that kind of tell the story, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's at all cute.
No, it's more like enterprise level, like.
And probably for that reason, I think because of what it does, I'm assuming that's probably a really good direction for them. Argo is not cute, but they do provide some interesting videos of how it works right in the front. And I think that's something we could consider doing as well. But I think that whatever we do, we have to keep the concepts of a catalog that's got metadata in it, that's showing you relationships across clusters, that we're really versioning all of the points of a cluster. One application at a time, because in essence, that's what we're doing. I would say this is kind of boring, to be honest. My favorite one is Helm. What's another one? Let's see what Flux has done. A little more graphic, shows our terminal, shows the, kind of the script-driven nature of infrastructure as code, I think is what they're really showing there. But in terms of everything else is pretty much like mine. It's like, here's some logos to describe what we're doing. So I think I think Helm is probably the best. That's the best example of something that is a little more friendly and not quite so so scary looking. And if somebody finds a website they think is really cool and they like how the graphics look, share it for the next meeting, because I would love to see something improved. I'm just happy that it's clean enough that now we can start having this conversation, because before we couldn't have turned it over to anybody. It was just all in WordPress and it wasn't going to be easy to work with. Now we can do anything we want. So 100% Sergio, let's start getting that. Let's start having that conversation. So we need cuter graphics, and we need a community, basically a community page with our pictures and podcasts when we get badges. All good stuff. Anybody else have any thoughts? We are at 8:31, and as everybody knows, I try to keep this exactly 30 minutes.
So we are good.
Okay. Everybody, thank you for dealing with our time change. You can tell I'm just like, I just woke up. I'm like so sleepy right now. It's no wonder people like commit suicide during this week, because it's like, it's
Can you do one thing, Tracy? Can you set across the calendar invite also for half an hour? I guess there might be people who assume that this is for a 1 hour session.
Oh, I will
They
do
may
that.
not join in.
I will do that. I will change the time to half an hour. That's a great idea.
Yes. And secondly, we have 2 calendar invites at the moment. If you cancel one of them.
Really?
No.
I thought we went through that. Okay, I'll check that
Yeah,
too.
I see that too.
Okay.
It's okay.
I will check both of those and make it for a half hour.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Monday up here in the
Bye.
U.S. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man. Have a week. Bye-bye.
Bye.